Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MaxSpeedTV. Thank you very much for joining us on this epic 8-race season that Racing for a Cause is going to have here. And I'll tell you what, this is the first race, round 1 of 8 at USA International, and we are going to see a full field here tonight. We have got cars coming out of the woodwork. They are all over the place. Only the top 24 drivers, though, in qualifying are going to make it into the next round. And right now, it looks like we have 36 cars that have showed up here tonight. So, a excellent turnout in Racing for a Cause's opening race of the late model season here on Wednesday nights. Thank you very much for joining me. As unfortunate as you are, my name is KR Stolfus, so I hope you guys are strapped in tight and holding on. As we like to do here at MaxSpeedTV, we're going to step away from the mic and we are going to play our Star Spangled Banner.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for allowing us to play the Star Spangled Banner. But right now, it's time to talk to tonight's sponsor of the race, our Racing for a Cause partner, so to speak, who has chosen tonight's cause, and that would be A.J. Hamill. How you doing, Mr. Hamill?
I'm a little nervous for this upcoming race.
It does look like quite a stacked field for you out there. How are you going to handle all these cars?
I don't know. I'm going to pray for a good qualifying lap and try to hold my track position. A lot of talent in this field. Great to see.
It is a great big field with a lot of talent, but tonight, right now, tell us a little bit about what this checkdon'tguess.org 100 is all about.
Sure. So this charity, Drive for Diabetes Awareness, you'll see on my hood, started by the Cool family after they lost their young son, just over a year old, about, I don't know, 10 years ago. He was a month younger than my daughter. So it really hits home hearing that story from them. But met Brent and family through league founder Chris Legue when his son had an issue with what's called diabetic ketoacidosis, which is I can't remember exactly how it happens, but you run out of insulin, or you have to, and you get ketones in your blood, and it's way too high level, and you get sick. And unfortunately, for the Cool family, it cost them their son because the doctors didn't check for it. That's check, don't guess. That's their slogan. They didn't even consider it, and it was an unfortunate event. You can check it out on their website. Bring Tissues, Rocco's story. It's out there. I'm going to say hi to Brent and Heather and Lacey. Hopefully they're. I don't think they can watch it live, but hopefully they'll watch it later.
And we do have down in the description of tonight's broadcast a link to checkdon'tguess.org, along with a link to Racing for a Cause. So Mr. Hamill, Mr. A.J. Hamill, this cause, very important to you, obviously. Opening season for the late models, first round of 8. And your race is the first one, so how are we going to deliver tonight?
Well, hoping to build on the end of last season's momentum, but a whole lot more cars to deal with tonight, so you never know. If you qualify 10th at this track, you might finish 10th. It's hard to pass. You got to maintain your track position, and I don't know. I'll have to see how qualifying goes and take care of our stuff and see what happens.
All right. Well, AJ Hamill, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. We know that checkdon'tguess.org 100 here at USA is going to be epic. And for guys, like I said, don't forget the link for checkdon'tguess.org is provided down below. There's also the Drive for Diabetes awareness link. They all take you to the same place. So before we let you go to qualifying, one final shout out.
Yeah, everybody go to their Facebook page and give them a like. Follow them. Brent likes to post a lot. Lacey does some kart racing down in Florida on some dirt tracks, and that's fun to follow. They find kids who have had similar scares but survived, and she races in their honor.
All right, well, qualifying is kicking off. We better let you go. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
All right, thanks. Hope I talk to you later.
Sure do. That is A.J. Hamill, driver of the 18 Drive for Diabetes awareness machine, taking the time to talk to us, and I thank him very much for that. But meanwhile, qualifying has gotten underway here, and we're going to try and bring you some of these drivers. It is a closed qualifying session. Steve Baker is out on the track in that 55 machine. Green flag is waving for him. Peyton Johnson in the 85. Johnson, a regular member in the Racing for a Cause League. Down the front stretch he goes across the line. Johnson's first lap time is good enough for third. Gilliam Fortin in the 13 machine. He is currently holding on to second place. And remember, only the top 24 on time are going to be able to go into the next round. Or I shouldn't say the next round, into the main event tonight of being a 100 laps here at USA. The 9 machine of Alex, don't call me Oreo KR Lorenz, is waiting patiently on pit road. I'm gonna have to work on that some. Chris Stump in the 98 machine running a red and golden arches machine. And AJ Hamill in the 18 machine, who we stopped and got to interrupt his practice session. Gave us a moment of his time to talk about the checkdon'tguess.org 100 tonight here at USA, as he is out on a track trying to lay down a good qualifying time. See, coming off of turn 4, this will be the completion of his first lap. And he is going to jump up to second place. Chris Stump is on top of the chart right now in that 98 machine. Nick Zotner in the 93. He is currently in 8th place. So we have had all but one car take a time. We have had 35 cars complete a qualifying time. And now the 20 of Justin McDuff is rolled out onto the track. That 20 machine, a race winner in the late model series. Trying to pick up another one here in round number 1 at USA International. And Justin McDuff has just about a minute and a half left of qualifying. So he is going to brush the wall there that may discredit his lap. Right now, Tyler Hilton is in 24th spot in that 52 machine. And Hilton is going to get bumped out as Justin McDuff is going to jump up to 2nd place here on the speed charts. That has put Alex Arens in 24th. Final car here in qualifying last transfer spot. Cars going home, it would appear that the 52 of Tyler Hilton, the 73 of Eric Spencer, the 60 of Justin Pinuel, the 81 of James McIntyre, Richard Orr in the 78, Anthony Poston in the 31, Chris Legue in the 71 going home here tonight, the 30 of Cody Jenkins, Rick Greenaway in the 38, Doug Wysocki in the 45, Dustin German in the 28, and the 35 of Jeff Cormier, all on the outside looking in for qualifying. Now, of those drivers in 25th through 36th, will have a chance at a provisional if they were in Racing for a Cause late models last season. So we'll see of those drivers who all is going to be able to make it. But the top 24 are all getting in. And that is going to wrap up our qualifying time. As we will bring you all the information as it comes up. The timing screen has to adjust, and we will see some drivers going home here tonight. Brian Hacker in the 11 there. Didn't get to talk about him in qualifying, but he looks like he is going to start in 10th place. Alright, while we do this, we'll go ahead and go through our starting lineup. Row number 1, Chris Stump in the 98 machine on pole position. Justin McDuff on his outside in that 20 machine. Row 2 will be made up of A.J. Hamill in the 18 and the 40 of Philip Martin. Row 3 will be the 24 of Sean Cool and the 13 of William Fortin. Row 4 will be A.J. Rogers and the 94 of Troy Radford. Row 5 will be Nick Zotner and Brian Hacker. Row 6 will be Justin Rigsby and Andy Lambert. Row 7, Mike Holtzclaw and Ricky Harden. Row 8, Al Smith Jr. and Zach Coyer. Row 9, Preston Boers and Steve Baker in the 55. Row 10 will be Peyton Johnson and Jeffrey Clifton. Row 11 will be Aaron Tolhurst and Wayne McDuff. Row 12 will be Dylan Blankenship and Alex Arans. Row 13, Tyler Hilton, Eric Spencer, Justin Pinuel, and James McIntyre. Row 14. Row 15, Richard Orr and Anthony Poston. Row 16, Chris Legue and Cody Jenkins. Row 17, Rick Greenaway and Doug Wysocki. Row 18, Dustin German and Jeff Cormier. And that is going to do it with some of those guys going home here. We'll try and get that information to you as to who went home and who didn't, as race control is trying to clear out this field. Green flag getting ready to come out. The 98 of Chris Stump on pole.
Green, green, green.
And there it is. Green flag is out, and away we go here. Down into turn number 1 they go, side by side. Chris Stump on the inside. The 20 of Justin McDuff on the outside. Single file, those front 2 go. Now there's a 2x2 battle for 3rd place. 4 cars all in a row. Now make it 5 cars. Down the front stretch again, several cars still side by side. Everyone trying to find a little bit of running room, trying to get to the bottom here. With a full field like this, space is at a premium as we watch the 24 machine of Sean Cool battle the 40 of Philip Martin. AJ Rogers in that 5 machine on the inside of Martin in the 40. Right behind them is the 13 of William Fortin. We did start 25 cars here tonight. Unfortunately, several drivers went home here tonight, but we are already on lap 4 of this 100 lap field. See some great racing all throughout, as side by side they are still digging here on the outside. That is the 96 of Al Smith trying to find some room as the 9 going around. That is Alex Lorenz. Don't call me Oreo, KR. I'm getting tired of it. Heavy damage on that 9 machine. No caution as he did spin down below the racing surface. So without a caution, he's got some work cut out for him to get caught up on this field. And that car does not look like it has a straight corner on it anymore. Meanwhile, back up front, Chris Stump as we go on board with Stump in the 98 machine, leading this long train of cars. Out the back of this window. Klosterman on the trunk lid. Chris Stump almost getting in the wall there, but using all of the track, and that's what you got to do in these late models. You really got to dig down deep, use all the track that you can, and really let that car roll through this corner and gain speed from the center of the corner off. A lot of drivers try to use throttle to turn these cars as well. Might see some drivers who are fast here early on, especially if we get into a long green flag run, will really start to fade quickly as they, burn up the right front, maybe too much throttle too soon, and the car will just start pushing on them, and they won't be able to make a good exit off the corner. The 70 of Andy Lambert. Right now, he is in 10th place. He started 12th, so picking up 2 spots early here. And right behind him is Ricky All-Star Harden in the 21. Ricky started 14th. He's now 11th. Field starting to really string out a little bit here. We do have a few cars side by side. The 29 of Preston Boers making a move on the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. So Mike Holtzclaw getting past here, but long way to go still. We go on aboard with Jeffrey Clifton in the 15 machine. See Jeffrey working that wheel, being as smooth as he can through this corner here. Don't want to be too rough and jerky on the wheel. Meanwhile, out front, Chris Stump has a 0.3 second lead over Justin McDuff. Adam Hamill, Mr. A.J. Hamill himself, holding on to third spot, and Sean Rocket Fuel Cool in the 24 machine. On that back bumper of that Drive for Diabetes awareness, red, black, and yellow car, Sean Cool. No stranger to these late models. He was last season's late model champion. Looking to repeat once again here. Having a good run going here in the first 15 laps as he is in 4th place. AJ Rogers in the 5 machine. He is currently in 5th. Making that the top 5 as the field's going to try and work their way around Alex Arans now. Alex moving to the high side. Struggling with that car since he spun out. A lot of damage on that thing, but Alex not going to give up. He's going to hang out there and turn as many laps as he can for as long as he can. Brian Hacker in the 11. Haven't got to talk about Brian Hacker since the last time I seen a late model race here with the Racing for a Cause guys. Good to see Brian Hacker coming back for another season in that 11 machine. Right now he is in 7th place. We are going to see a lot of new names, and if it's not really a new name but just somebody I forgot, well, you know what? I'm not the brightest crown in the tool shed. Philip Martin in the 40 machine. Driving a white car with a black hood. Very sharp and clean looking paint scheme on that thing. Martin has lost 2 spots since the start of this race, but still solidly in 6th place, right in front of Brian Hacker. Justin Rigsby, he's currently in 12th place. We try to go through the field here a little bit with some of these drivers. Get on board with Rigsby in the 99. He started 11th. He has lost 1 spot, running 12th, but with 80 laps still to go, plenty of time to make anything happen. We'll give a big shout out to the 4 of Wayne McDuff. He and brother Justin McDuff both racing here tonight. Have brothers out on the track here. And Wayne just having a good old time in that 4 machine. Right now he is in 20th place. Wayne is always an exciting driver to watch. Right now he's out there logging laps. Doug Wysocki in the 45. Racing for a Cause regular in both the Xfinity and the late models. He is 21st, and 22nd place is the 51 of Dylan Blankenship. So Blankenship running around at the back here, logging laps as these guys are going to get around Alex. Alex staying to the high side. And then the last car on the lead lap for right now is the 97 of Aaron Tolhurst. Aaron, a competitor in the Xfinity series also. Was that 97 machine got into the corner a bit hot there. Good save as that rear end stepped out as he came into turn number 3. And the 9 of Alex Oriens is the only car 1 lap down. We have had 1 car pull off, and that is the 13 of William Fortin. Not sure what has happened to him, but he has called it a night. He is pulled off track. Meanwhile, up front, the top 5 still hasn't changed. Chris Stump, Justin McDuff, A.J. Hamill, Sean Cool, and A.J. Rogers, as the yellow flag is going to come out. Not sure who that is. I believe that is Dylan Blankenship. Nope, sorry, wrong. The 29 of Preston Boers has some damage here. We will back this up, see if it was that 29 machine that went around. Preston Boers and the 12 making contact of Zach Coyer. Mike Holtzclaw getting a piece of the action as well. Back this up as we go on board with Holtzclaw. Preston Boers and Zach Coyer going down the backstretch, down into turn number 3. You see the 12 washing up off the bottom of the lane there. The 29 just leaving the 22 with nowhere to go. All right, so we got 3 cars on pit road. And taking tires in this league is not allowed. So what that means is our race analysis for 100 laps here, we'll be doing 75 miles. Our tire window is 100 laps. And our fuel window, if you need fuel, well, I just wrote in 100 laps. But pit road speed limit is 35 miles an hour. Great day for racing, and we have had some really close and really good racing here so far tonight. Aaron Tolhurst in the 97 machine is the first car that has come on and off of pit road. Alex Rans did get his lap back, but that 9 is still heavily damaged, and I have not seen him make a pit stop to work on that yet. It looks like he might be pulling down now to get some of that damage hammered out. Not a lot of time to work on these cars though, as under caution our lap times are right at about 50 seconds. So with some extensive damage on that car, 50 seconds really isn't enough to hammer it out. Lights are still on the pace car, so he does have a moment of time. We are on lap 30 of 100 here at USA. This is our first caution of the night. Lights have gone out on the pace car field, starting to line up side by side. And we'll get back on that loud button we call the throttle. Ford Mustang lights have turned out, probably because the engine has quit working as well. Here we go. Chris Stump in the 98. Waiting. There he goes. He's taking off the 20 of Justin McDuff. Not getting as good of a start. Green flag is out once again here at USA. Stump with a good jump there on that restart. Sean Cool in the 24 on the outside. Oh, Cool's going to get in the wall. Yellow flag coming out just as fast as we were back to the throttle. And that is the 96 of Al Smith, who is in trouble here now. I'm going to go to our MaxSpeedTV replay. As issues going into turn 1 happen here on our restart. the 4 of Wayne McDuff going to make contact with Al Smith. Al going to overcorrect and get into the wall. And that is what brought out this caution. So while we're under caution again, guys, we're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to USA and Max Speed TV. Chris Stump still leading this field around. Al Smith, Mike Holtzclaw, and Alex Arens all on pit road. In fact, Mike Holtzclaw has been off of pit road now. He has got that machine rolling in that 22 after getting contact with Preston Boers in the 29. Behind the wall is the 29 of Preston Boers and William Fortin in the 13. Now, we do see a lot of damage on Alex Arens and Al Smith. They have not pushed it behind the wall. They may be able to get back out there. But they will end up being several laps down. Lights are still on the pace car. As we switch back over to live, now the lights have gone out. Chris Stump, your race leader, choosing the inside line here. On his outside is Justin McDuff in the 20. Now the 24 of Sean Cool. He's going to be starting in the inside of row number 2, and that has put A.J. Hamill on the outside here for this restart. Not necessarily the place you want to be on a restart here in this outside lane. Ooh, is the field going to really start bumping and checking up? Sean Cool going to be the loser here, as Hamill is going to be able to clear Cool and cut down in front of him. So Hamill able to maintain his 3rd position, and now the 11 of Brian Hacker getting into trouble. No caution.
The yellow flag.
And now we got cars going around, and that is the 99 of Justin Rigsby. As we saw Brian Hacker in that 11 come off the corner and hit the wall. Brian Hacker making contact with that outside wall. Looks like a little bit of contact with the 24 of Sean Cool. Try this from a little bit of a different angle. To go on board with Peyton Johnson. And Justin Rigsby's point of view, Rigsby, the big loser here, as Peyton Johnson had nowhere to go. So Rigsby with some heavy damage on that 99 machine. He is on pit road, hammering some damage out. Chris Stump in the 98. He is leading this race right now. And let's see if we can, well, I don't know. Alex, this is KR up in the broadcast booth. You got your ears on, bud?
Hey, KR, how you doing?
Oh, I'm not too bad. You are the unofficial in-race reporter here for tonight's event. And your car looks a little bit damaged. First of all, tell us about what your car is like right now.
Slow. Not sure exactly what happened coming out of 4 there. I think I just got spun out by the guy behind me. I pitted, had about 10 minutes of repair, so we'll see what it does now, but just trying to stay out there for points at this point.
So round 1, not going the way you want, but you're no longer in last place because of not giving up. Is your car overheating or anything? You think you'll be able to finish?
I should be able to. I ran probably about 20 laps before I even went into pits because I didn't get a caution when I got spun there, so no warning lights came on or anything like that. So I think we're good to go to the end. As long as we beat Al Smith, we'll be good.
Oh, just got to beat Al Smith here. So is there a little side bet going on?
Nah, just good fun.
All right, well, I'm going to tell him you called him all kinds of names. It's all in good fun.
All in good fun.
All in good fun. All right, well, Alex, unfortunately, your night not going the way you want, but what's it like out there with a full field of cars?
It's definitely hot and slick out there. Car's just not really picking up a lot of grip on entry into the corners right now.
All right, man. Well, we see the lights are out on the pace car, so we'll let you get back to it. Thank you for talking to us.
No problem, KR. Thanks for having me up.
That is the 9 of Alex. Don't call me Oreo. Giving us an in-race report. Unfortunately, his night going pretty south pretty early. But Chris Stump has been out front all night long in that 98 machine. He has led all 42 completed laps.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Now we're on 44 of 100. Justin McDuff trying to find a way around this 98 machine of Chris Stump. We see more cars starting to get into that outside wall coming off of turn number 2 and down these long USA straightaways. This is a 3/4 mile track. We are nearing the halfway point here. The 93 of Nick Zotner and the 94 of Troy Radford battling it out here for 6th place. Zotner currently holding on to that position. Meanwhile, in the back of the pack, we got some side-by-side action as the 15 of Jeffrey Clifton battles the 51 of Dylan Blankenship. Clifton in that white and camo 15 machine. I think it's camo. Let's get a closer look at it. It is camo, so to speak. As you go on board with Blankenship in this 51. Dylan started 23rd, has moved up to 14th spot, so taking advantage of other people's issues. As Clifton gets a little sideways there coming off the corner, gathers it back in. That has allowed the 12 of Zach Coyer to try and find a way around Clifton. Zach caught up in an earlier incident. Car looking pretty straight, pretty nice and clean despite that. saw Mike Holtzclaw on pit road for a while. He had to spend about 4 minutes 40 seconds working on that thing. Here he is getting it back out there. He is currently in 21st. Alex Orions in the 9 machine is 22nd. And Al Smith, who looks like his night is done in that 96 machine, as it is still smoking on pit road. That can't be a good sign. We'll see if he can get back out there or not. Meanwhile, out front, Justin McDuff in second, trying to track down and find a way around this 98 machine. So far, he just has not been able to do it. McDuff starting second, currently running second. Cerebral palsy foundation on the hood of this thing. You see just how gently you gotta roll into the throttle here. You can't stab it. Brakes aren't locking up. Rolling in the corner nice and easy. So Chris Stump in the 98 has been out front for all 53 completed laps now. A.J. Hamill in the 18 machine, title sponsor for tonight's race, sitting in third place. So a good showing going for him. The 24 is Sean Cool. He is in fourth. A.J. Rogers in the 5 machine, he is currently in 5th place. Meanwhile, in 6th is the 93 and Nick Zotner. Is Zotner going to tag the wall a little bit there? The right side of that car is going to hold up just fine for him, and he gathers it back in. 7th place going to the 94 of Troy Radford. Radford, who had a heck of a showing in the RFC Xfinity Series last night at Road America, started shotgun on the field and was in the top 5 within a handful of laps.
The yellow flag is out.
As the yellow flag is going to come out, it looks like the 15 of Jeffrey Clifton going around, along with the 4 of Wayne McDuff. And heavy damage on that 4 machine. We go to our MaxSpeedTV replay. We focus in here on Clifton in that 15 machine. The 12 is Zach Coyer going to give him a little nudge. Clifton going to overcorrect. Wayne McDuff going to yank the wheel to try and avoid him. That unfortunately is going to send McDuff on around, and he's going to get into the outside wall. We go on board with McDuff. You see Clifton get turned a little bit there. McDuff yanking the wheel. Heavy impact into that outside wall. Both cars get straightened and get back going. Neither one of them coming down pit road yet. As I mentioned, this is a no tire league. No tires allowed in your pit stop. So while we have a second, guys, we're going to step away, and we'll be right back after this.
MaxSpeedTV would like to thank our partners here at MaxSpeedTV, starting with the Colby Eye Paints. If you're in the market for a new paint job for your car, check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Need a replica paint of your real-life car? Colby's Eye Paints has you covered. Check out Colby Eye Paints on Facebook. Also by Hershey Design. Hershey Design Company is your one-stop graphics shop. If you're in need of an iRacing paint, league, team, or business logo, or want the logo on some sweet swag, hit up Orion at the Hershey Design Company. You can find them on Facebook by searching HERSHY Design Company. Also by the Sim Speed Shop, simspeedshop.com. You can check them out for all your iRacing sim needs. Ohio IndyCar League jumping on board this season with as an official sponsor of MaxSpeedTV. They are also accepting not just patrons from Ohio, but from all over. Also, iBog for all your iRacing broadcast overlay graphics done specifically by Jason Allison, one of the masters at it. So thank you to Jason. And also, last but not least, Wise Guys. You can check them out at Reverb Nation. That is spelt with a Z. So check them out on Reverb Nation. We would like to thank all of the sponsors at MaxSpeedTV and partners.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Want to give a special shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Hamill tonight. I was told they would be watching, and they are. Their driver, I would imagine, would be AJ Hamill. Right now he is third. He's going to take us for a ride here on this restart. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is going to be fun. Hamill, second row inside. There goes Chris Stump. Green flag out in the air once again. As AJ Hamill onto the inside. He's going to follow the 20 of Justin McDuff. Sean Cool going to try and get a good run on that outer lane. He drives it in very deep. And Cool is going to get a good run and make the pass on the high side. And he's going to try it once again in 3 and 4. Washing up just a little bit, but he is pinching that 20 of Justin McDuff down. Here comes Hamill on the inside. Sean Cool side by side with the 18 of Hamill. Field working its way onto the front stretch. Chris Stump in the 98, your race leader. He is holding on to that top spot with a mighty grip. It is going to take some monumental effort to get around this thing, as he has led all 63 completed laps here tonight. Meanwhile, the 40 of Philip Martin and the 11 of Brian Hacker are going side by side. Hamill and Sean Cool still battling it out. The 55 of Steve Baker battling with Ricky All-Star Harden. Battles all throughout this field. We go on aboard with Andy Lambert in the 70 machine. He's currently in 12th place. You see the battle up ahead of Sean Cool and AJ Hamill. You see Steve Baker in the 55 battling with the 21 of Ricky Harden. The 40 of Philip Martin losing the battle here to Brian Hacker for a moment. Going to protect that inside line, as Andy Lambert was going to try and stuff it in there, but no, Philip Martin said not today. I'm not ready to give up another spot. Ooh, as Lambert's going to get into the back bumper of Martin and going to turn Martin.
Yellow flag is out.
Yellow flag is going to come out as Philip Martin got turned coming off of turn number 4. Watch this once again. Andy Lambert battling with the 40 of Philip Martin. Down into turn number 1. Philip looked like maybe he was going to give Lambert the inside from that angle. Hard to tell. We'll have to see if we can't find another point of view. See them work their way down the backstretch. Down into turns 3 and 4, and the door really wasn't open for that 70 machine. And the big loser here is going to be the 40 of Philip Martin. So do want to point out some drivers have gone home here. As we mentioned, we got to add a new one. Alex Arans has gone home in that 9 machine. Our unofficial in-race reporter for the day has packed it up and has headed home. Al Smith on pit road. That car has not moved for quite some time now. Justin Rigsby getting a lot of damage repaired. He is scored 12 laps down. And the 4 of Wayne McDuff also on pit road. He is also 4 laps down. So the field under caution once again. We started with 36 drivers in this session. We took the top 25 drivers. The 24 on qualifying time. And then 1 extra driver made it due to being in last season's top 10 in points. Front of the field, Nick Zontner has managed to get around AJ Rogers in the 5. Lights are out on the pace car field. Going to start forming up 2 by 2 again. '55 of Steve Baker currently in 9th place for this restart. Tucked in right behind Troy Radford with the 11 of Brian Hacker on his outside. There goes Chris Stump. Green flag is out. We are back underway. As Stump has been stubborn as an old stump tree and leading this thing and not sharing the limelight. He is all about leading every lap he can. Justin McDuff in the 20. Not letting him get too far away. Well, Chris hasn't been a driver that has just pulled away and dominated. But he has been the guy out front for the most laps here tonight, as we got some side-by-side action down the backstretch. Troy Radford battling with the 21 of Ricky Harden. These two going door to door here at USA. Long drag race. Then on the brakes and into the corner, and it looks like Radford gonna win this battle, but he's got to gain just a few more inches, and Ricky Harden not gonna let him have that very easily. The outside lane looks like every once in a while it gets a good run. We saw Sean Cool almost pass 2 cars on a restart in that high side. Ooh, as Ricky Harden is going to get sideways a little bit there. Manages to gather it back in. Steve Baker in the 55 way up high. He's going to lose a little bit of ground. Baker dropping all the way back to 12th, but ground loss is not done yet, as the 70 of Andy Lambert is down underneath him. 45 of Doug Wysocki is going to let the 55 around him on the high side. Doug Wysocki in that black 45 machine with blue lettering and blue spoiler. Ooh, Wysocki is going to get into the back bumper of Baker, and then Lambert gets into Wysocki. A big old chain reaction there that ends with Jeffrey Clifton dirt tracking it in that 15 onto the high side. He and Andy Lambert going side by side here as these guys are battling for 13th place. The 12 is Zach Coyer right behind him. We go on board with Coyer. Clifton looking to the inside, just not able to get there. Down this back stretch into turn number 3. With 20 laps to go. This field's still very, very close. We have 18 cars on the lead lap, with 21 cars still out on the track. It has been a very full race, a very busy race. A lot of these drivers have been holding on for quite a while. Meanwhile, out the back of the Chris Stump machine, we see the rest of the field. Stump leading this long train of cars as Justin McDuff in that 20 desperately wants a way around. I'd say these two cars are about equal. McDuff able to get on him a little bit, but cannot get as good of a run off the corner. Very evenly matched here, the top 4 cars, as Sean Cool right in this picture as well. $15 laps to go. Race really starting to wind down now. The check.don't.guess.org 100. We've got 15 of 100 laps left. Now make it 14 as Chris Stump goes across the line. Justin McDuff staying all over his back bumper. AJ Hamill not letting these guys get away from him too far either. All it takes is one driver error, and then that will do it for a lot of cars up here, as these guys are running very close together. Sean Cool trying to find a way around the 18 of AJ Hamill. Track has kind of been a one-lane racetrack here tonight. I thought we might see a few more cars venture to the high side, but it just has not panned out that way. We did see, a couple of them go up there to try and make something happen, but just couldn't make it stick yet. Peyton Johnson in the 85 under pressure from the 97 of Aaron Tolhurst. Aaron looking for a way around. Tolhurst started 21st, currently running 18th. Right behind that 85 of Peyton Ducky Johnson. Meanwhile, A.J. Rogers battling with the 93 and Nick Zotner. And then behind them is the 94 of Troy Radford. As it looks like Radford has taken some damage on that right front. Some extensive damage. At the beginning, if you'll remember, I mentioned that these drivers might drive it a little too hard, start to chew up the right front there a little bit, creating a big push for these cars. It looks like Radford has fallen victim to that situation. Ricky Harden in the 21. He's tucked in behind the 51 of Dylan Blankenship. Dylan started 23rd. He is into 9th place, so he has moved through the field very nicely. As we bring up our race progress, our chart tracker, if you will, and the 51 has gained 14 spots, but the 45 of Doug Wysocki has gained 20 positions since the start of this race. Although that isn't entirely accurate due to Doug Wysocki's qualifying position and making it in from a provisional. Five laps to go now, front of the field. Now make it 4 laps to go, so I can do math. Chris Stump in the 98, he is still leading. Justin McDuff trying to get to his back bumper and rattle his cage, but has not been able to do so. 3 laps to go, this race is almost over. Round 1 of 8 drawing to a close. So we see Justin Rigsby staying to the high side here as Nick Zotner is going to dive it down underneath him. Here comes A.J. Rogers, Troy Radford washing up just a little bit. 2 laps to go for our race leader in that red 98 machine. Wayne McDuff in the 4, a lap car up ahead. How will these leaders split the difference, so to speak, and get around Wayne as the white flag is out? Final lap here at USA. Down the backstretch for the final time. Justin McDuff trying to do anything he can, looking for some clean air. Not able to get to him. Here comes Chris Stump off at turn number 4. Onto the front stretch. Checkered flags are waving. Give round number 1 to Chris Stump in the 98 machine. Justin McDuff bringing it home second. And A.J. Hamill will be third in the 18 machine. So your race winner, Chris Stump, picking up the first win of the season. Guys, we're going to step away, set up our post-race show, and we'll be right back after the Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Max Speed TV as we get our post-race show underway here. And we got our race winner, Chris Stump. What an awesome performance out here tonight. I would hesitate to say dominant because the top 4 cars all were kind of single file, but Chris, you led all 100 laps.
Yeah, it was far from dominating. Justin was on my tail all night. He was a lot better than me getting in and across the center, especially through 1 and 2. And I just really worked on getting the thing pointed straight, coming off the corner. But I mean, I think all 3 of us, you could have thrown a blanket over, and any one of us could have won.
It would have only taken one mistake to allow Justin by you, maybe even AJ Hamill back in 3rd, but no mistakes that cost you a position. You lead all 100 laps, so congratulations picking up the first win of this 8-race season here in Racing for a Cause. Wow, it's got to feel good. I mean, I feel good.
Yeah, I appreciate you feeling good for me. These guys, man, I was totally unprepared for the competition coming in here. I haven't spent a lot of time in these limited lates, but if the rest of the season plays out anything like tonight, it's going to be amazing. It was super clean racing. Justin could have got to my bumper and moved me, basically any lap, and I appreciate him, running me clean, and that's going to be passed forward to him, if I'm in his situation, in the future. But just want to thank all of RFC for having me, and at McDonald's on the car. I had a long-standing relationship with the Ronald McDonald House years ago. They're a great organization, do a lot for the parents and families that have sick kids in the hospital and staying for treatment. So if you can, help them out.
All right, Chris, well, thank you very much. Before we let you go, though, any other thank yous you'd like to give?
Really just all of the admins. Everyone's been great. It's my first official race with RFC. Ran that one crossover race with USRL and RFC that one night out Auto Club. But everyone's been great here, and I want to thank them and all the JCR racing guys that I run with other places. And thank you, KR. Enjoy your broadcast.
Well, thank you, and man, once again, congratulations on picking up your first race win and your first official race with RFC. From here on out, I guess there's nothing left to do. Might as well wrap it up.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, Chris Stump, congratulations in that 98 machine. He is going to pull away. That is going to leave us to 2nd place. Justin McDuff coming home 2nd here tonight, all over the back bumper of that 98, just unable to get around. Justin, tell us about your race.
Well, so first I gotta tell you about my night. So I am taking night classes for my master's degree, and I had class till 9 o'clock. So I got out 8:40. I literally ran to my car, and me running is an awful sight 'cause I'm a big, tall, mad guy. So I ran into my car, I made it to my car, and I got home. I walked in 2 minutes into qualifying. So to put a lap up that was P2 was pretty, there's no words really to describe it. It was just pretty amazing. And then to run second, I'm pretty tickled pink about that. It was a good run for the Cerebral Palsy Foundation Toyota Camry, and a good run for my Empire Racing teammate AJ Hamill. I'm bringing it home on the podium in 3rd place. So it was a good race. I mean, it was clean. I try to race guys the way that I want to be raced, and then I race them the way that they race me if there's history there or whatever. And Chris ran me really clean, all the restarts and stuff, and I couldn't get the run I needed to get by him, so congrats to him, but I had a blast out there.
Well, that purple 20 machine making an appearance here once again. We know it from last season being a front runner, and here you are finishing 2nd in the first race. How does this set the tone for your season?
Well, it's huge, and I won't lie, that was in the back of my mind there. On all those restarts, I know that the 24 he was really packing it into the corners and getting the run off the high side. So I was like, I gotta be careful with him getting that run. If he sticks to my outside, then I get pinned on the bottom. I get freight trained, or vice versa if I get stuck to the outside in the restarts. So I tried to keep that in mind, just to stay as clean as I could in all the restarts, to make sure I can bring this thing home in one piece and with 0 incidents. And, you know, I'm looking forward to the points championship because we're in the hunt.
All right, Justin. Well, before we let you go, any final shout-outs, thank yous you'd like to give?
So first things, I got to thank AJ Hamill for sponsoring tonight and the Drive for Diabetes Awareness. And I got to give a shout out to the Cerebral Palsy Foundation. I say it every time I have an interview, but it's very near and dear to my heart and my family. So every time I put this car on the track, I want to go to victory lane with it. But tonight we came up just a little bit short. I got to thank Toyota. The Camry was very strong down these long straightaways here at USA and give me the power to get up out of the corners. And last, I got to thank everyone at RFC for, you know, putting on all the work they do to make this such a great place to race. It was really awesome to see such a great turnout tonight for the first race of the series, and I hope we can keep it up.
All right, Justin, round 1 in the books. Second place goes to you, and thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you, KR. Have a good night.
Justin McDuff in the 20. Now it's time to move on to our third place finisher. That is AJ Hamill, tonight's race sponsor, who we got to talk to earlier today. And now we talk to him once again here as he is on our final step of the podium.
Yes, I finish up my popcorn. I'm having a good time listening to these interviews.
Yes, would you mind sharing some popcorn with me? I'm a little hungry.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, man, third place here tonight. A great view of the action going on in front of you. It looked like it was hard to pass anybody out there, but no rough stuff. No one turned anyone for a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, kind of like we said before the race. I said if I qualified 10th, I'm going to finish 10th, and luckily qualified 3rd. I don't want to be that guy, and probably 4 of us could say this, but had the pole going into turn 3 and choked it away, and is what it is there. Chris did a great job taking the pole, and that's the win here. As long as you don't mess up, you got it. And I think we said it earlier, front 4 cars, you stick us in any order, we probably would have finished in that order. Even if you were quicker, which I think Justin might have been the class of the field. Those Empire Racing Team Toyota Camrys were stout, but his was the most stout tonight. And I think if he gets the pole, we don't see him the rest of the night. But we'll take it. Well,
a good third place finish here in the opening round at USA. We move on next week to another track, another chance for a race win. But tonight was a great night for you and your teammate. And not only that, but the checkdon'tguess.org 100 went off very well.
Yeah, glad to put the checkdon'tguess.org Drive for Diabetes Awareness dfda.info car on the podium so I can chat with you after, say hi to Brent and Heather and Lacey again, and get their awesome cause a little more time on the camera. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, am I supposed to thank people yet?
If you want
I'm rusty.
Listen,
yeah, no one was listening at this point.
You can always say thank you. There is nothing wrong with saying thank you to somebody.
My parents are the only one listening at this point.
Hey.
All right. I got to thank Justin at Empire Racing Team. We founded this team a couple weeks ago, and it's been almost all good finishes for the 2 of us. And then our cross-manufacturer technical alliance with Sean Cool Motorsports. Sean raced us hard, but he got me some breaks too. I think he was faster a little bit at the end, and I got to thank Sean for sticking in there and not doing anything silly. Front of the pack, everybody raced really clean where we were. I'm sure it was a little hairy in the middle to the back of the pack. I got to thank other sponsors, Arts Barbershop, as always, Shelburne Lime Co., Cerebral Palsy Foundation, that's Justin's cause, very important to the McDuff family. Find them on Facebook, check them out on the internet. Racing for a Cause, always fun to be here on Wednesday night. Been doing it for over a year. Be back next week because of Mr. Andy Lambert, who does a bang-up job putting this together. I thought, this is awesome. We got 50 people signed up. 24 or 25 are going to race. A lot of new names coming back. Who knows how everyone's going to treat each other, and then we go out there and have that awesome start and finishing run. So that was awesome. And good news, don't have to start on the tail next week at Langley. So kind of silver lining.
That is a bit of a silver lining out here. So we'll see you guys next week. And congratulations on this race here, finishing third.
Thank you.
That was A.J. Hamill in the 18 machine, bringing it home third place. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for us here on Max Speed TV. All we got left is to go through our unofficial results. As Chris Stump is your race winner, Justin McDuff finishing second, AJ Hamill third, Sean Cool fourth, Nick Zontner rounding out your top five. AJ Rogers getting sixth, Troy Radford seventh, Brian Hacker eighth, ninth place going to Dylan Blankenship, Ricky Harden 10th, 11th Steve Baker, 12th will be Andy Lambert, 13th Zach Coyer, 14th place going to Philip Martin, and 15th place going to Peyton Ducky Johnson. And 16th was Aaron Tolhurst, 17th Doug Wysocki, 18th Jeffrey Clifton, 19th place was Mike Holtzclaw, and Wayne McDuff brought it home in 20th. 21st will be Justin Rigsby, 22nd Alex Arans, 23rd Al Smith, 24th Preston Boers, and your final starter for tonight was the 13 machine of William Fortner. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for us here on Max Speed TV. Make sure you tune in next week on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock for another epic Racing for a Cause late model series as we take on round number 2 of 8. Guys, have a good night. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.